Alrighty, how's everyone doing today? So, we are going to make something out of this Amazon box. I've had it sitting here for months, way before all this shutdown happened. No idea why I didn't throw it out, but we're gonna make it into something nice now. I currently have pencils and pens in this box. It's a mess. So let's see if we can make something a little more organized out of this box. So you can break down the box with anything you want. I'm going to use a box cutter, which makes my life a little easier. You could also use a scissor or a knife from the kitchen. Anything you really want. But we'll start out. We're going to break it down. Now I know how much material I have to work with. I'm going to find one side should be connected, just like that. And now, just for my own sanity, I'm going to break down this guy into a few sheets. Let's put that aside. Our next one. All right, so we've got our box broken down. I have these pieces that are kind of creased. I don't want the crease in there. Cardboard actually has a grain just like wood. So on wood, we have our natural grain. You're thinking of wood shop? I can find a piece of wood. There we go. So on wood, we have our grain. Our grain's going this way, with the grain or against the grain, across. So on cardboard, we have grain. You can't see it necessarily from the surface, although you can see a little bit. But we have these corrugations running in the end. So this would be our grain. So with the grain is going with the corrugations, and without, across is going across. So depending on how I cut this, I can either make it rigid or not. So notice I have a little bit of trouble bending the cardboard this way. But I go to bend it this way, we start to get creases very, very easily and quickly. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I want my box to be strong up and down because my pencils are going to lay in there like that. I'm going to take a pencil and let's see. I don't want it all the way to the top. So let's have them stick out just a little bit. Make a mark. Grab my ruler. If you don't have a ruler, not the end of the world. And what do you know? That was exactly 6 inches. So let's grab ourselves a sharp pencil, which might help. I'm going to mark 6 inches from the bottom. Come over, however long, doesn't matter. And we'll go 6 inches again. Then I can take my ruler and we're going to scribe right across. I'll check 6 inches again. Make a mark. Connect the dots again. And then Make sure we're on our cutting mat. Again, if you don't have a cutting mat or a box cutter, just use a scissor. I like using my box cutter. Many of you know that this thing is on me always. So we got that all taken care of. So can we pull this tape off? We can. All right. So I got that taken care of. That's our height. And let's say our first box for pencils, you know, maybe, let's say 2 inches. Now we'll do another 1.5 inches. And another maybe 2 inches. Come on over here. 2 inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I'll close this up. And we're going to cut that out. Got my first piece. Stick that right on top of this one. Draw our line. And cut it out. Got 2 pieces. These are going to be our side pieces. And I think I would like to add a little bit of style. So I'm going to come in with my pencil. You can freehand this. If you have a compass, you can use a compass. So I could take this guy and open it up. Maybe not that big. And I can use that. And I can draw my curves with my compass. I have way too many compasses, but I digress. I think I'm going to not use the compass because I have a feeling most of you don't have it. And, well, let's use a scissor for this. Take our scissor. There's one. Stick it on top of the other. And trace. Now notice, I'm trying really hard to use one piece to trace the other. In a lot of interior woodworking, it's not as important that the pieces are a specific measurement, but rather that they match. So that's all I'm doing right now. I just want my pieces to match. I'll finish this off with the knife. All right, so we have 2 side pieces. Now I can decide how big we want this to be. So let's go about 4 inches. Mark the top, mark the bottom. There's our back. Now we need another 4 inches for the front. Let's go 4 inches. Technically, we need another 4 inches for the middle too. But we'll worry about that in a little bit. Alrighty. Front and back. Now, this bottom piece is 5.5 by 4. So we need to put these aside. Put these into our little recycling pile. Grab our next piece. Let's keep going. So we need a piece 5.5 by 4. Let's go 5.5. And draw that out. Now this would be the point if we were actually in shop class that I tell you make sure you're using a square to make sure that everything is square. But I know none of you don't have a square, so I let it slide just this once. Alright, there's our bottom. So, I'll put that down. Use a little hot glue. If you don't have hot glue, you can do this with tape. In fact, it might look nicer with tape. But, either way, run just a little bit of hot glue. And let's pop that on the side. That goes in there. All right, so let's get some hot glue on the bottom. And we're going to gain a lot of strength just by doing this. One more hot glue. Using very little. Definitely don't need a lot of glue in this application. Alright, let's pop that on. Just like that. Now with the thickness of the bottom, we're a little tall, which is fine. Alright, so I can put this right here. And I didn't have to measure, which is nice. Now let's just mark it. Right there. And right there. Grab my ruler. Cut it off. Get glue on it. Alrighty. And just trim this top piece. So there's our box. Now, that little tab. Let's see, that's 4 inches. Let's use it right where it fits. This is a recycling project after all. I'll glue on the bottom. Slip it in. Try to gauge it. That looks okay. And then I'm going to pull out a little bit. Just get a drop of glue in there. Just to hold it. Alright. Now we need one more 4-inch piece. Let's come back over here. Measure out 4 inches. Let's see, where do we want this to, or how tall do we want this? Let's go like 5 5/8. So let's draw this out. Measure up 5 5/8. Do it again over here. Clean up our work area a bit. Oh, we messed up that measurement. No matter. All right, let's glue this guy in. Remember, we're aiming to just meet that curve, which we did. And same thing, just that little dab on the top. Alright, we got our box. Let's divide it up for some pencils. So, our size here, a little less than 1.5 inches. What we got? And what do you know, 1.5 inches. Almost like I planned it out. That piece can slip in there. Looks like we're a little big. Trim off just a little bit. There we go. And we'll divide this into 3 sections. So in that case, do that again. Come over 1.5 inches. Mark it. Oh, this video, 21 minutes. Whew. You guys aren't even going to be watching till the end. Five and 5/8. Again, it's a little bit too big. Let's trim a little bit off. Beautiful. Let's glue these guys in. All right. Now, get some pencils. See our Sharpies. It's a little short for the Sharpies, so the Sharpies can go in there. Which means we might need to add. We'll make another divider. Got this guy. Perfect. Got some bigger markers. Yeah, let's put a divider in here. Measure this opening. A little over 1.5 inches. Come back over here. And then our height. Three and 5/8. Awesome. All right. Got our middle divider. So we got Sharpies on one side, big markers on the other. So what else we got? A little big marker. Got some pens. Pens are also short. Not these pencils. Alright, those pencils are a little short for that. But they work. We got one more. These pens, they could either join the Sharpies. Maybe they go on the bottom. I was thinking the bottom would be good for a little notebook. I can go back there. Could do some, let's see. Oh. I thought I had Post-its for the bottom. That's why I made it so short. But apparently, oh wait, let's go. There we go. Post-its go right in the bottom. Alright, so that is a pencil holder. It took me start to finish 25 minutes-ish. Not super difficult. If you want to make it look a little bit nicer, I might go back with a little masking tape, which apparently I don't have. Dress up the corners. If you have electrical tape, that works really well because it's kind of flexible. And I think that this little box is going to hang out in my shop for a long, long time. All right. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again.